We're going live. Okay, folks, we are live, and this is Frederica from Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica. And today we are talking about maximizing the value of your business before you sell it. Now, the fact is, if you have a business that can't run without you, all you have is a job. Oh my gosh, that was such a revelation for me the first time I heard it. Truth of the matter is, if you're a business owner, you know the peril between working in the business and working on the business. And my guest today is passionate about this topic and helping business owners understand how to determine the value of their business so they can learn to work more strategically to build a business that's not only valuable to them, but to potential investors or buyers. Now, my guest today is Gene Bohensky, and he started his career in technical sales with his first job selling chemical process pumps and valves in Germany. Since then, he's been involved in all aspects of running a business, from the tough early days of a startup right through the sale of his own successful business, helping companies go from losses to profit and dramatically grow sales and market share along the way. With an engineering background, he loves solving complex technical and business problems, and he's a certified value builder, executive coach with many, many success stories helping business owners. I am so excited to have you here, Gene. Welcome, Gene, to Shifting the Atmosphere with Frederica.
Great, thanks. Great to be with you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. When I heard Gene speaking at the Power Breakfast, that's something that happens here in the New Jersey area. And when I started hearing this whole concept that he was working with, like understanding the value of your business, and especially if you want to sell your business, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I don't want to sell my business. I'm just starting my business. But I found that it's even more valuable as you are starting to build your business, because understanding the value of your business just helps you to think about what you're building in a much more intentional way. Oh my God, it just totally opened my eyes to so many things. And I'm like, people need to hear about this. So Gene, right, before we even get started, because I'm kind of giving everything away, but it's okay. I want you to tell folks, like, what is that journey? I always got to find out the journey that got people to where they are now. So what got you as a leader now that is helping other business owners understand the value of their business? What's the journey that got you here? How did this all start?
Well, you know, I started out in the corporate world. I never thought of myself as being a business owner, and somehow it didn't really resonate with me. I didn't really fit in that well in the corporate world, and I got myself into working for smaller companies, and one of them was a manufacturing company, and I was there sitting in my office one day, and I was talking to one of the owners and looking at the window that was broken, and I said, you know, I think this window should get fixed. And the owner looks at me and he goes, well, fix it. And, you know, if someone from a corporate background, it's just like totally different way of looking at things. Yeah. Right. And when you have your own business, you got to get it done yourself. Yeah. And so being in that small business, it was like a trial by fire. You know, I had to do everything myself and figure it out. Yeah. And I thrived on that. And later on, I became a part owner in that business. And I sold out of that portion, but I always wanted to have my own business again. So I started an actual luxury chocolate business called Rose City Chocolates. I started that and I sold that. And it was not very easy to sell the business. It's something you never do. You know, it's something most people, if they do it at all, they do only once. Okay. And it was only later on in my career, I was introduced to business coaching, which is what I am now doing as a business coach, working with business owners. And one of the reasons why I became a business coach was because of my experience selling my business and realizing that there's so much that I could help other people with going through that experience. Okay. Yeah, and it's definitely true. And selling chocolates, you kind of like have my whole head stop there. I'm like, selling chocolate? Chocolate is good. And it's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool thing. So getting to this point, I would imagine that there were some serious revelations that started coming up for you, right? When you had your own business, understanding selling your own business. And
what was it that really got you to that point and said, people really need to know about this. They really need to understand this, because I don't think anybody, a lot of us, when we're starting a business, especially small business owners, especially service-based business, we're not thinking about selling it at any point. This is kind of, we stepped out of corporate or wherever it is whatever it is we were doing, we started our business and this is what we want to do. So I'm a coach and that's what I want to do. I want to be a business and I want to be a coach and I want to train people. But if I get sick, what happens? I just never thought about that. Oh my gosh. I never really thought about that. And I'm sure that's going to be a revelation for a lot of people that are listening to this today. So explain to us exactly what it is that you do so people really understand the impact of what it is you do.
Well, basically what I do is help business owners really create a business that could run without them, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, every business owner starts off by being great at what they do, right? Yeah. Whether they're an electrician, whether they're a coach, whether they're a web designer, it's something that they love, they get into it. But as they grow, it becomes a point when, there's just too much for the business owner to do. Mm-hmm. And most business owners get stuck in that rut, right? Yeah. They get stuck in that rut where they're so busy, they don't really know how to grow because they're too busy running their own business. Yeah. But the truth is, like you mentioned before, mm-hmm. If you're the one doing everything, really all you do is you just have a job, right? Yeah. It's not any different than another person's job, except it might even be worse. Yeah. Because you're working harder, right? Yep. And you might even be making less money. Yeah.
Oh yeah, more than likely you are.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So the only way that people really have a business, and when I think of a business, I think of really a cash generating asset, right? Mm-hmm. If somebody is going to invest in something, they want to buy a business. They want to buy a business that is going to be making money, right? Yeah. And a lot of people who want to buy a business don't really want to run it either. So it kind of has to run by itself. Mm-hmm. And it's really only then, when you have a business that runs by itself, then you have something that is valuable to sell. Yeah. Because otherwise, if it's a business that can't exist without you, it's not really worth very much. Right. So what I do is help business owners in that journey, because most of the things that make us great at what we do, the talents that we have, they're not necessarily the ones that make us great business owners.
Yeah. That's really, really true. It makes us subject matter experts in what we do, but it doesn't mean that we can run the business well.
Yeah, those sometimes are two totally different
things. You got it. Right. Yeah, you absolutely got it. That was a revelation to me. And I don't know how many folks are out there listening. And if you do tune in, maybe you're on lunch or maybe you're going to come in soon. We're taking questions from you live, so be sure to jump in here. But I think that when you think about that is such an aha moment, right? I might be an excellent coach. I may be excellent at training. Guess what? I might have even been an excellent leader in the corporate space, but running a business is completely different from all of that. You got to be the finance person. You got to be the people leader. You got to be the marketer, the salesperson, the operation, absolutely everything, at least to build that infrastructure and then maybe bring people on. But that's a whole skill set in itself. And I'm a firm believer that you do need help with that, so that your coaching in this is excellent. So I want people to make sure they know how they can get in touch with you as we go through this today. But as we move into this, Jean, I want you to talk about what is the biggest struggle, because somebody here is still listening going, I'm not really sure if this applies to you. If you are a small business owner, this applies to you. Whether you're looking to sell your business or you're just starting it, it absolutely applies to you. So what is it, the biggest struggle that getting business owners to see the value in what you do? What is the biggest thing that stands in the way of them seeing that value?
I think it's funny to say this, but I think it's sometimes just themselves. Business owners get into business ownership because they're confident. Yeah. They're smart. A lot of them think they know everything. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And they're so busy. They're so busy doing well at what they're doing that sometimes they just don't see the forest through the trees. Right. Yeah. And getting them to see that they need help to move to the next level
Yeah.
is the biggest challenge for business owners. Sometimes business owners say they do it, but they put it off to another day.
Yes.
And that day then never comes. There've been many business owners that I've met with, and I saw how I can help them so clearly.
Yeah.
And I knew they wouldn't take the help. And then when I talked to them 2 years later, they're also in the exact same position they were 2 years ago.
Yeah, if not worse, right?
If not worse.
Yeah.
If you don't bring in that outside help, if you don't bring that outside advice, things aren't going to change. So I guess the biggest thing that a business owner has to understand is that if they want change, if they want to move things forward, they have to take a step. They have to make a step to change.
Yeah, absolutely. It is our own ego sometimes is the biggest thing that gets in our way. And you didn't say it like that, but I'm saying it because I think that's what it is. I'll figure it out. I don't need help. Especially those of us that may have been super successful in the corporate space. We're like, this has got to be a piece of cake. I used to, manage a $2 million budget. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? And so when you get to it's very humbling. It is very humbling, but you've got to get somebody else there to see this, help you see it from a different lens. Anytime I think we're trying to do something new and really be successful at it, you could save yourself a lot of money and a lot of heartache, right? And just probably add some years to your life. Just bringing somebody in to kind of help you get the steps and see things from the perspective that you need to see it in order for it to be effective for you and not have you spending so much money and spinning your wheels and trying all these different things and connect you to the right resources that you need and the right understanding so that you can move forward with this in a way that it's going to benefit you. So I think it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It really,
the
really
amazing
is.
thing I have to say about it is after doing business coaching for a few years, it's amazing how many problems are actually easy to find and easy to diagnose.
Yeah.
A lot of business owners think that they have unique problems, that it's only their business or you have to know about their industry.
Yes.
But the reality is someone that is around coaching and business coaching a lot and you meet with a lot of business owners, you see that most of the problems are similar.
Yeah. Yes. I would think so. Because I know even for myself, you'll come out here and this is what I want to do. You'll name your business and you will start networking yourself in places that you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. It's really kind of a waste of time. Or you haven't put the infrastructure in place in order to be able to get the profits that you need in order to sustain the business. You don't even have an infrastructure to be able to handle the income, right? A lot of times what I say is, we put out one hand and that's what we prepare for one hand's worth of success. Right. And it kind of just enough, that whole just enough syndrome where we really have the capacity and the need to build our business for the influx that's going to come at some point. But if you're not prepared for it, as it starts to come, it's going to fall right through your fingers because you don't have an infrastructure in place in order to hold on to it. Oh, my Lord, get me on a whole tangent here. Come on, a whole tangent. So how do you get them to see the bigger picture, Gene? What is it that you do to help people to see that bigger picture and how you might be able to help them to see some things that they couldn't see themselves? And it's little tiny things, to your point.
Well, I usually start by asking them questions, and finding out what their real long-term goals are. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times people start their business with real goals in mind, and as the years go on, those original goals just give way to the day-to-day reality of running a difficult business. Mm-hmm. And so, reconnecting them with really their visions for their lives and where they want to be headed is important. Mm-hmm. Do they want to sell their business? Do they want to build an asset? Do they have a plan, right? Mm-hmm. And are they on that plan? Most of them are not on the plan. Right? In general, at least 9 out of 10 of them are not on the plan. They're hoping that the plan materializes by the time comes, right? And then when and this is the tragic reality. The tragic reality, as I laid out in that presentation, is first of all that 80% of businesses don't sell. right? Those are businesses that are listed. If you want to sell your business and you list it with a broker, 80% of them don't sell, which is a large number.
Yeah.
And then out of the ones that do sell, 75% of the people who sell them are unhappy with what happened during the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you do the math, that means only 6% of businesses successfully sell and leave the owner happy with what happened. That's a very low percentage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So a lot of people have their business. They're thinking to themselves, "Oh, I'm going to wait until retirement. Then I'll sell my business and I'll cash out a millionaire." Right? How often does that happen? And then the business owner goes to get a valuation, and their $1 million business is worth $100,000 or is not saleable at all.
Right.
And the business owner is upset, doesn't know why, doesn't know what happened.
Yep.
Right? Totally blindsided. They had this idea that they would get all this money for their business one day. And when they actually go and do it, it's like nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. 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 Understood. And why does that happen? Why is that?
The biggest reason is that the business owner never took the time in their entire business ownership experience, never took the time to figure out what it is that makes their business valuable. They never looked into it. They never
huge.
thought about, what are the things do I need to do to make my business valuable?
That's huge.
Right?
That's huge. I got to stop you there for 1 minute because I want to make sure everybody heard that. So that question we're posing to you right now. You have a business. Do you know what makes that business valuable? That's a life changer. That's a life changer question, Gene. Honestly, I don't know if everybody's getting that one. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right, so it does have a value, but what is the value?
What is the value?
Right?
Yeah.
And I, what I try to educate a business owner, any business owner, is that at any stage in their business, they should know what the value of the business is.
Yeah. It's man, oh man, I have such a go. So here's my question. So when we think about what makes the business valuable, I can guarantee you a lot, especially service people, that are either do coaching or training or whatever it is that they do, that they work directly with people, right? That's their product. It's them. Right. They're going to say what makes the business, I make the business valuable. Is that right or wrong? Or is there an answer to that?
Well, it makes the business valuable to them.
Right?
But in terms of selling it, unless you've developed some sort of system or some sort of process that can get customers on its own, or other people can get customers for you, that you can then transfer or sell to somebody else, you don't have a valuable business.
Right.
You're just going back to having a job.
Yes. I got it. Man, this is good stuff. Gene, how do people, because this is good stuff, and somebody that may be listening to this right now is like, I need to talk to Gene. He can help me. I don't even know where to begin, but I know I should at least talk to him. How do they get in touch with you?
Well, my website is archer-strategies.com. And on there, I have a link to take what's called a Value Builder questionnaire, where you can get your Value Builder score. So the first thing that you could do for yourself as a business owner is take this assessment. It is free. Yeah. The assessment will give you a score on out of 100 points, and that gives you basically your Value Builder score, which is connected to the value of your business. And so once I see the score, I can help the business owner explain to them what that means. Yeah. What we do through the assessment is we rate every business on 8 aspects that affect the value of their business. So every business owner should at least take that assessment, right? Yeah. And that they can get a good idea of where they are. Yeah. Yeah. They could establish a baseline for themselves.
Yes. Absolutely. Does it cost anything for them to take that?
It costs nothing to take the assessment. No.
Okay. And then you can kind of help them understand the reading. Do they get the readout, or what do they get if they take the assessment? Do they get any kind of readout or something that tells them where they stand?
Yeah, they actually get a short report.
Okay.
That is a free report that gives them a list of all the aspects that drive the value of their business and where they score on each one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good.
And
That's
so
good.
what makes it very easy for me as a coach,
Yeah.
because I can help see where their issues are.
Yes.
Right. And then in a further discussion, if they're interested in working on those areas,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I can come in and help them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. Totally got it. Wow, this is good stuff. Okay. So now you guys know how you can get Gene out there on his website and at Archer Strategies, right?
Archer-strategies.com.
Archer-strategies.com. Okay,
Right.
perfect. Perfect. So what is it you work, so the work that you do, it's not only for people that want to sell their business, right? But
Right.
how valuable is it to someone that may just be starting a business or has been in business for a while and is doing what they consider to be well? And we all know well could be is subjective. So what's the value to people that may not be wanting to sell a business?
Well, the very same aspects that drive the value of your business also make it a good business, right? They're parallel. So when you talk about establishing your monopoly control, where you carve out your own unique selling proposition, that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's helpful to every business. One thing we talk about is how much of the business runs through you, the business owner. How many of the customers do you talk to every day?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The more customers that talk to you every day, the less valuable is your business.
Right.
That's because the business depends on you again.
Yep.
So all the different aspects that drive the value of the business, if you improve those aspects, they also parallel with improving your business.
Right.
And getting you, the business owner, out of the day-to-day of your business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, this is good. And so what I'm hearing is if you can understand the value of your business, you can actually, that can leverage helping you to make more money in your business.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Small tweaks that can actually have you bringing in more profits and bringing in more clients. That's interesting. So
all that goes together.
So then what's the thing that gets in the way of small business owners not wanting to move forward with this? Let's talk about that for a minute. We want to what is the obstacle sometimes of really getting small business owners to see the value of working with you and this system?
I think it's a resistance to change.
Mm-hmm.
I think the business owner has to come to the conclusion
mm-hmm.
that he's got to change and the business has to change and that it's going to be difficult.
Okay.
And they have to go through a process that is going to be, it's going to force them to do things differently.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that play out in any number of ways. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a multi-year process.
Mm-hmm.
It's understanding the things that you're doing in your business, systematizing them, cataloging them, hiring the right people, mm-hmm. giving them specific tasks, right? And holding them accountable while growing your business at the same time. Mm. So it's a process.
Yeah.
And that's what I help out with.
Yeah. Helping them unpack that and really understanding that process. So what's the actual goal? When somebody is at that point, what they realize maybe they've been in business for a long time and now they're tired. Look, they worked in corporate for many years, retired from that so they could get into this business, and now they're getting up in the years. They really want to enjoy living life a little bit more and realizing I don't have the systems in place to step out of this. So what's the actual goal when they're selling a business, and how do they get there?
Well, the goal is, first of all, is to figure out where they are. What are the issues? What are the real gaps that they have in their business that are preventing them from being able to sell?
Okay.
If that's their goal to sell, or their goal is to hand it over to to their son and get out of the business.
Yeah.
What we do is help them create a roadmap to go through that process.
Okay.
Right. And it's going to be different for every business. Some businesses are better off than others with how many people they have or don't have, where they are with their marketing, where they are with their systems. What we try to do is first do the gap analysis and then do an action plan and get them moving along on that path.
Okay. That sounds good. Now, what are the 3 most important facts every business owner should know about the value of their business?
Well, the first important fact is that there's actually a science around the value of their business. A lot of business owners don't understand that business valuation, it's not an esoteric theory. There's an actual process to establish the value of your business. So because of that, it's because of that you can actually know what the value of your business is. That's the first thing. The second thing that's important for every business owner, and I mentioned this before, is that they should know what the value of their business is at any step of the way in their life, in their business life. For whatever reason, if they need to sell now or they need to do something now, they should know what the value of their business is, right? And the third thing is that they should also understand the changes that they need to make in their business in order to take the business to the level that they want or to increase the value of their business. Even if they don't do it, even if they decide not to do it today, right, they should still understand what actions they need to take to get there.
And that's huge. Just at least having an understanding that there is an avenue to be able to do this and what it is they need to do in order to be able to get there.
Yeah, I want to add that every business has that avenue. It doesn't matter what it is.
Okay.
You can't come and say, I have this type of business, there's no way I can expand it. Every business out there can be expanded, right? And sold if you want to.
And so even understanding that it could be any business. So what are the 3 common mistakes that most business owners make when they're building their business?
Well, just right from there, they don't think about selling it. They don't think about the person who's going to buy their business. Right? What is that person going to want when they buy my business? Right? Yeah. So that's, I think, the first big mistake is that they don't think about the person buying their business one day, that they're creating something, they're creating a package or a product, right, that can be sold to somebody else one day.
Okay.
The second mistake is that they wait too long to sell their business. They're already exhausted. They're done. And the business has already been in decline for a couple of years, right? So they remember this business that might have been really valuable at one time is now on its last legs, and they're still thinking someone's going to pay top dollar for it. Well, you only get top dollar when your business is at the top. Yeah. That's really the hardest time to sell a business is when you're at the top of your game. That's also when the business is the most valuable.
So the business is most valuable. Well, of course, at the top of your game, your business is the most valuable. Makes sense.
Right.
Yeah,
that's when you should be selling it.
Yeah.
Right? You sell it at the top.
Yeah.
It's just like holding stock. You want to sell when the stock is valued the highest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And the last mistake that business owners make is that they don't bring in outside help.
Yeah.
They think they could do it all themselves.
Of course.
But they think they know better.
Yeah. Absolutely. And some of it is fear, right? Because some folks, when they get out there, they've had a sum of money that they saved up in order to be able to get the business going, and that is not part of the budget. Help is not part of the budget, right?
Right.
But it could be the very thing that's the detriment to the business being profitable.
That's right.
It could be the very, I'm talking to somebody out there. It could be the very thing. It could be the very thing. So I want to make sure that folks know how you work with your clients. But before we go to that, I want to, because some folks may have joined us listening in here midway through, because we're at 12:30. So some people we know start lunch around 12:30. So tell us again, tell anybody listening out there how they can get in touch with you, Jean, to maybe talk to you about this value builder system. Maybe they don't want to jump right in. Maybe they want to have a conversation, understand a little bit more. How do they get in touch with you?
Sure. Well, they can always reach me by email, which is jean@archer-strategies.com.
Okay.
Always reach out to me. You can also call me on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also always available at 973-368-7726.
Mm-hmm.
And on my website, archer-strategies.com, you can take the Value Builder assessment
Yeah.
and get the Value Builder score for your business.
That's great. And they can do that right online at
They can do that right online,
Yeah.
and it doesn't cost anything.
Okay, and that's at archer-strategies.com.
Right.
Perfect. So, okay, so let's jump in here. I want you to tell us, how do you work with your clients? What is the process that you follow?
Well, the first process is that we usually have a discovery meeting. The first meeting is just to see whether there's a good fit, whether the business owner has a goal that they want to achieve, and whether I can help them.
Yeah.
That's the first step. So I have a few different coaching programs in place. In addition to having a Value Builder coaching program, I also own an alternative board franchise in the Alternative Board of Northern New Jersey that brings business owners together as sort of a board of directors role. But in all of these type of coaching engagements, it all revolves around a monthly meeting and setting goals for the business owner. And then we all have a number of online tools that also assist the business owner in reaching their goals.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good stuff. And now, what is, we talked about a lot of stuff here today, right? I'm sure this intrigues some people, even that are even thinking about selling a business. We might have planted some seeds because we want to get folks early on, because the more strategic you can be in the onset, the more successful that you can be while you're in business, and then working toward that goal of being able to sell your business one day. Because some folks probably never even thought about that. Didn't even cross their mind. So what is something that we haven't talked about today that you feel like people need to know as it relates to understanding the value of your business?
Well, I think a thing that we did not talk about is how long it really takes for a business owner to really make the changes.
Okay.
And it really is a 4 to 5 year path if they really want to do it right. Yes.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
And that time is, it's that long because of all the changes the business owner has to make, not only in his business, but also for him or herself, right? There's a lot of learning. There's a lot of changing.
Yeah.
And of course, during that whole time, when you're getting your business ready to sell, hopefully you are also growing that business, right?
Yeah.
You're adding people, you're training people, you're adding customers, you're adding products or services, right? You're systematizing products or services. And that's not an overnight task.
Right.
There is a limited amount of things we can do within a year to increase the value of a business.
Okay.
That goes without saying. If someone says, listen, I need to sell in the next year.
Yeah.
Well, we got a program for them. We can make some significant impact in a year. We can. Yeah. But really to do it right, it's a 4 to 5 year process. So a lot of people, a lot of baby boomers now are getting to the point where they want to retire. If they see a business sale as one of their exit strategies, and that's off in the future, well, if it's 4 or 5 years off in the future, then it's now time to work on figuring out how I'm going to structure that business to sell.
Yeah.
So the message is, even if it's quite a few years off, you got to do it now. And one of the people that I work with, he's 8 years out. He knows it's going to take 8 years. He wants to start now.
Yeah.
Doing the work on his business to sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not for naught, to your point, right? Because when you start doing some of these things, it's going to help increase the profits that are coming into the business. So you're working on the business while you're working on this plan, right? For current impact.
Well, they're parallel.
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
absolutely parallel.
Yes.
They work in step with each other. They're actually the same actions.
Yes. It's not like you're working toward the final sale, which won't happen till 8 years. What you're working on now over that 5 to 8 year period is you're going to start to reap the rewards as you're working on it.
But that's right.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All this work pays for itself.
Yes.
While you're doing it and in the future. I mean, there's nothing really that you can do with a better ROI than investing in this type of business coaching and consulting. There isn't anything, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And what is the difference? Because I know this question was asked to me when I was putting this program together, so I'm going to throw it out here because it didn't look like she was able to jump on. But what is the difference between working with just any old business coach and working with you as you work in this value builder system? What would be the difference for that person? What's the differentiator?
I would say the differentiator is not only myself, what I bring to the table as a business coach, but I've basically looked for the best tools to use that can help the business owner. So I felt myself as a business coach, your own, what you bring to the table as a business coach is really multiplied by the tools that you have, and not only assessment tools but implementation tools.
Sure.
And I think that's where the difference is.
Huge.
Because it speeds the process. It speeds the process up because we're going to figure out quickly what are the things that we need to do that are going to make impact. Because the reality is as a business coach, if you're not making impact within a couple of months of starting with a client, you're not going to be working with the client very long. Yeah,
true. And for those folks out there that are not clear on what the difference between an assessment tool and an implementation tool is, can you clarify that?
Right. Well, part of the value builder system is that also has an engagement program, which is a series of tools that are used with the coaching engagement. Right, and I have other tools as well. I have tools for marketing strategy and also for implementation, more strategic planning tools.
Okay.
That are also available.
Okay.
But speaking specifically about the value builder, there's a whole suite of tools that are included along with me just being a good business coach.
Okay. So there's the assessment, folks, which is evaluating where you are. That kind of gives you an evaluation of where you're at. It's assessing your situation, and then the implementation is to help you execute on those plans. That's the difference there. And so, do you have any upcoming events that you'd like to share with our listeners? Anything that's coming down the pike? They may be able to hear you speak or present on this topic somewhere.
Well, I actually have an event on the 20th. This month, it's going to be at the co-working space in Woodbridge, New Jersey, at 8:30. I'm presenting the value builder system and a workshop to actually have business owners take the assessment.
Okay.
So a business owner can sign up for that workshop.
Okay.
And I'll be there to help them through all the questions to get their own score.
Perfect. How long is the session?
The session is 2 hours. It starts at 8:30 in the morning at the co-working space in Woodbridge, New Jersey, right on Main Street, 97 Main Street.
And how do they register?
There is an Eventbrite link for that presentation.
Is it on your website? Is that link on your website?
It is not on the website yet, but I'm going to put it on there. Yes.
Yeah, that would be perfect. That way folks will know how to be able to register for that. Eventbrite can be overwhelming.
Right.
It can be overwhelming trying to find it on Eventbrite. But if they do try to search it on Eventbrite, what name is it under?
It's the name is under Archer Strategies.
Okay, they can just look up Archer Strategies, and it's
Right.
GIES, and
Right.
on Eventbrite, and they could sign up for that for June 20th.
Right. June 20th.
June 20th. Okay, that's a Sunday. No, that's not a Sunday. I'm looking at May. That is a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday morning.
I'm still in May. You got to watch me.
Right.
I'm still in May. Oh my gosh. Well, Gene, it has been phenomenal having you on here, and I'm going to let you get the last word in here. There may be somebody listening to this program right now that is on the fence about whether or not they should reach out to you. And I want to give you an opportunity to talk to that person and share your, share what you think they may need to hear. They're not sure if they want to reach out to you just yet.
Well, first of all, I'd love to help any business owner understand what it takes for them to build the value of their business.
Mm-hmm.
Every business owner has a unique business, right? And they have unique strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And part of this process is getting to know the business owner and their business. And so if anyone is on the fence, that's one of the things that I do best is to help the business owner find their strengths and find their unique value that drives the value of their business.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And one last time, Gene, how do folks get in touch with you, find out about this value builder system, all those good things?
So my website is at archer-strategies.com. Mm-hmm. You can reach me by email at gene@archer-strategies.com. And you can always give me a phone call at 973-368-7726. You can call me anytime.
All right. That sounds great. Well, Gene, it has been awesome having you on the show. And I think that people are going to walk away from this with a whole new understanding, especially if they're small business owners, and how they are, how they need to look at their business a little bit differently. And so I definitely encourage you all to reach out to Gene. He changed my life when I was listening to him. I know that. And so I wanted to make sure he brought that out there to other people. So thanks for being on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Okay, hang tight.